Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is round 2 of the Severn River Series Event 3 here in Firestorm Games in Cardiff. I am still joined by Dave on the other mic.
Hello. Still here.
Still here, still alive and kicking. Still, and we are
to leave halfway through.
we are moving into round 2 where we have got a couple of known people.
Yeah.
Scott M and Scott Middlebourne, otherwise known as 11s as MTG, and Josh Corless. They have recently played, actually on camera with us, Josh and Scott. I think they fought each other in the Swiss of, and then the top 8 of the last RCQ.
Yeah.
So, be interesting to see this battle.
Slightly different deck for Scott this time round, I think.
Yeah, Scott is definitely your modern brewer, right? And
Yes.
is been in the game a long time.
In the tank, and I get
He will basically be ready for the micro adjustments we talked about earlier. Yeah. He's basically always about being ready for how do I be able to make adjustments to win the games that are coming up. So it's Josh. What do you know about Josh?
So I know Josh today. He has chosen the same deck as last time, so he's going to be on the zoo. I was speaking to him literally 5 minutes ago, and he said he's made some adjustments to it, but with Zoo that could be anything. You could be looking at, instead of going last time he was playing what we call the scam Zoo version with the doorkeeper front and flage, could be something completely different this time. And I think that's the beauty about this Zoo deck is you have that package, but it turns into, it could really, you can really change your deck up and it play completely differently from week to week.
Yeah, and when you are playing Zoo and you do exactly what you just did, drop the ley line of the guild pack pre-game, that's fantastic. No follow-up, but Ragavan from Scott, that there's an end of turn fetch here. Will this be the Ragavan blown up? We'll have to see. No, it's coming in tapped.
I think he's just looking for a little bit of action here. If you're keeping your opening 7 as Zoo and you're dropping a ley line on turn 1, you're very likely going to go turn 2 Sile.
I was going to say we can't see it from this angle on the stream, but we can say that that would be expected.
Yeah, I'd be almost surprised if it was Scion this turn, because I think that's part of what makes this keepable. And
so there is the Steve, there is the Sacred Foundry, and there is okay.
Oh no, Territorial
Carvu. Also another reason. That's like the second reason on the chain, right? So if you were gonna not have turn 1 action, that would make sense. Scott,
it's still a 5/5 blocker like that. I think Ragavan is going to really struggle to get through this matchup. But we're going to lead with Cori Steel Cutter
with a dark. Right. So what we just see. This is just a quick section. We got a Dark Steel Citadel.
Yeah.
Into a Cori Steel Cutter to make the monk, to then play the opal, to now still have a mana available.
I think that's a Spire of Industry, not a Dark Steel.
Oh, Spire of Industry, is it? Right, okay.
Looks like the ones I was playing last week. So.
That's great.
Yeah, so like I say, Scott's on something a little bit different today. I'm guessing, judging by the Cori Steel Cutter, the Bauble, and the Ragavan, we're probably looking at something almost like a Jeskai affinity deck, but eschewing the traditional affinity cards of stuff like Fort Monitor and Fort Cast for more power. I know some of the decks do go over into Jeskai Ascendancy, or they play the new Narset from Target Dragonstorm. It's just like a way to, I'm going to play lots of stuff and then refill my hand and keep doing that every single turn.
Yeah, we've been seeing Narset Waymaster jammed a lot in locals at the moment, and sort of a mix-up of dropping it in this deck or Paris deck, but 2 Carvus is really strong here.
That's a meaty board to try and get through.
Scott's going to have to chain a lot of spells to have monks that are big enough to sort of get through that.
Yeah, absolutely. This Ragavan is just the God's strongest soldier here, as the biggest 2/1 blocker. And we're going to lead with, looks like we're going to go Saga, which is, it's an okay time to be playing Saga now. Maybe turn 2 is maybe the better choice for it, but maybe if he's only just drawing at this turn. But this is the problem with Saga, and I find in these 3-color decks is it turns you off from casting those big 3-mana payoffs that you want to do in this kind of deck, like Jeskai, the Jeskai Ascendancy or Narset, whichever 3-mana payoff he's choosing. And yeah, like I say, Saga's a really, really powerful card. Like, we know it's a powerful card all the way back from MH2, but it's just...
So what do you...
Three color mana bases are tough.
What becomes your focus? Bear in mind, you've got 5/5 Carvus, and you've got the skill pack that's just turning everything on.
Yeah.
Are you...
okay, well... That's very much... Well, unless that gets... Yeah, Metallic Rebuke, fantastic. That's you out here for...
Because you're in a lot of trouble if you don't deal with that. It does...
Stubborn Denial?
It gets Stubborn Denial?
Yeah, that's tough. That's a hard counter as well.
Yeah, that's
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a scoop it up, go next, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you're facing down 2 5/5 Trample, Vigilance, First Strike, Lifelink, Hexproof. They're going to draw cards every single attack, and filter this hand down to just going to be pure interaction.
So it's important to note though with the Zoo deck though, that was all of its good things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and this is the power of Zoo. Is you have every single game you play, there is the possibility you open with Leyline in the Guild Pack, Scion of Draco, and some more action. And that is a winning formula in probably 90% of modern decks.
But to now adjust to what Scott is playing, because you've now just seen affinity things.
Yeah.
Do you even have an answer with Zoo?
It really depends. Like I say, it really depends on the structure of his sideboard. He could be playing stuff like Wear Tear, maybe. But I think... Sorry, excuse me. I think realistically, your main deck is fantastic. Your main deck is 4 removal spells, 4 counter spells. I don't think you want to bring in stuff like Consign to Memory, because that's probably sitting in Josh's sideboard. And I think Consign to Memory is a bit of a trap in this matchup. You go, well, they got Opals, they got Baubles, they're going to have more stuff like counter.
Yeah.
But you're countering zeros.
Yeah.
Which is just like completely irrelevant. Like, just let them play the zero. Just don't deal with the other stuff. But if he has got stuff like Wear Tears or Braids or any of that artifact removal, Cori Steel Cutter will lose a lot of his potency.
Hey, this is me, Old Demo Dave. The main channel is here. Go follow that. That's where we do lots more MTG content. I'm glad you're here. And don't forget, you can pick up a bulk box with a code that is in the description. If you want to not have this whole mess on your table, you can get a bulk box. Store your Magic cards. Let me show you mine. This is my bulk box, stickers and all. It's over 2 years old. It sits literally next to a tumble dryer. All my cards are in perfect condition. It is the best solution to tidy up a room that you no longer have any mess anywhere. Get your bulk box today. Enjoy the next part of the video. Yeah, and don't forget, main channel is here.
Because historically you saw a lot more dress downs in modern.
Yes.
We don't see dress down anymore.
No.
And that was one of your answers, albeit not amazing, to Scion, was to just turn off all those abilities for a turn. That gives you the window to remove it. But I just don't think there's a lot of answers. And I think if you're Scott, you may be considering even bringing in Consign to the Memory on his side if he's got it. I'm not sure if he has, because and this is speaking from experience. When I was playing Twin, I had to bring it in this matchup because he counters for 1 mana the turn 2 Scion.
Yes,
and that is that. And outside of that, you can counter Leyline ETBs, Leyline binding ETBs, I should say. Sorry.
Well, if we look at Scott's like makeup of his game 1 hands, is that is the play draw difference there? Is that like he would have had answers to like the Scion and the Carvu, and then so he has answers, but his answers too, but not necessarily so many reactions, such as like just even like galvanic discharge, like you'd have in energy and stuff, which can get rid of the 5/5s.
Yeah.
Having a think about mulligan decisions.
It can't. So
I think is that a Leyline we're seeing for Josh? I think it is. I think. Oh no! Oh yeah, but it is pitching. So they're both pitching to 6.
Yeah. Well, like I say, I don't think Leyline necessarily just automatically means you keep the hand. You need to have a good bit of mana. You need to have some pressure, because just having Leyline and that hand maybe he had 2 of the Territorial Carving, which is a fine reason to keep a Leyline hand. But if you're just looking at like, I don't know, Ragavan and Flage, for instance, and you got Leyline, that Leyline is no text.
And not forget, Scott can really turbo out as a Cori Steel Cutter.
Absolutely.
So, like, and even having the big things, if Scott on your turn and his turn can keep making those monks.
Yeah.
Like that's an engine that is, however big your bodies are, like that's, I guess, the potential path to victory here is the zoo deck doesn't really go wide. It goes 2 to 3 creature wide, chunky wide, but it doesn't go 8-9 tokens wide.
No, absolutely. And then I think that, like you say, that is Scott's path to victory here, is once Scott gets ahead, it's easier for him to stay there than it is for him to get there.
Yes.
So I think that's the important thing Scott has to. Okay, Scott's going to go on 5 here, which is going to be tough.
Be tough, but I guess it is really important for him to have the right start.
Exactly. You know, he can't just keep because like when you're playing Opal, when you're playing Bauble, you're playing Emery probably in this deck. You're looking at Tameo, stuff like that. There is a lot of air in these decks, and you can just be looking at these absolutely do nothing hands of Bauble, Opal, and I don't know, someone else, a couple of lands, for instance, and that hand will just do nothing.
Yeah, you just don't. You don't get to draw into it. You have to have it. Yeah, don't you? And but like we saw in round 1 with Adam Bowers on Belcher, like you've got so much engine.
Yeah.
That you'll get there, and so actually sometimes better to just get there because you don't want your hand disrupted.
Well, absolutely.
I think Scott ideally wants a hand here that can just literally splurge onto the field.
I mean, if he's playing the new Narset, then like his ideal opener is maybe something like play a couple of Mox Opals, make 3 mana and cast a Narset, and all of a sudden your hand's refilled. Like that could be an open start, but he's ended up just going tap talent forward. And there's no ley line from Josh here, which
helps.
Scott is probably breathed an absolute sigh of relief not seeing a ley line on the pre-game actions here.
As to mana, obviously the only thing is there is stubborn denial. So just like hard going and getting cut, just trying to jam Cutter here could be met with a problem.
It could be, but I think that you would actually probably want to force the Zoo player to do that, because what Josh wants to do here is probably get something like Indaphatrium or some 3-color tap land to set up his domain.
Oh, and this is good to have the Opal, because ultimately the Opal will take a turn down via Emery. Despite going down to 5, this is the perfect start.
Absolutely, Emery's a fantastic way to get back into the game. You see an Opal, okay, that's a Scroll of Defector Might. Now that is some spice.
That is some interesting spice.
It's an artifact. You can cast it with Emery.
It's I think something we'd probably ask Scott about. Scott is likely to join us on the stream later, but ideally I don't want him to, because ultimately it means he's winning. But if he's not winning, kids, he will come and join us. He might come and join us mid-game or in between games. So we can ask him.
Mid this game. He should probably finish it first.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Skull's good. Obviously, Mopal's out. It's also white as well, which is obviously handy.
I know it was something I was considering with Kefis because it is legendary as well.
Yes, exactly.
But he's also milled over someone else saw was Kappa Cannoneer as well.
Wow.
Which is, so what's this? This is
Pyroclasm?
No, Pyroclasm. Yeah, it looks like Pyroclasm. Just clearing off that Emery, that's fantastic to do. Like, you can leave Emery on the board. And this is one of Scott's great answers here is Haywire Might.
Yeah, because this is go on, I dare you.
Yeah, this is holding the gun to the Zoo player's head and said, do you really want to cast that Scion?
That's a good one to have in response. No, but I will drop my what is currently a 4/4.
Yeah. He's also not got green for what it's worth until he has another artifact. He doesn't have Metalcraft yet.
There is an Emery though, which helps you get there. There's a Bauble.
Bauble, yep. So we'll see that next turn. Looks like maybe a portable hole in hand, and yeah, that's a portable hole. And that is the best answer you could have for this card here.
Scott still needs a win, but it's really locked. He's really locked the Zoo player out here.
Yeah. This is you're looking at your turn 3. The Zoo player's played 1 creature and you've dealt with it. You're feeling pretty comfortable. You're never completely out of the woods with Zoo, but you're still feeling a lot more comfortable knowing it's got to turn 3. I'm on 70 in life. I've got a board state the Zoo player doesn't.
Yeah, you'd love to see it.
The boss. Okay, so fourth land here, another. So I think the Zoo player does have domain now because he's got the Xander's Lounge. And it looks like another Carvu here, followed up by where Tom? No, Tribal Flames.
Tribal Flames.
Tribal Flames. That's a real sign that this Zoo player's hand is tough. If you're Tribal Flames and Emery, you really don't want to be doing that. That's a lot of damage you're missing going face for a 2 creature.
We see a land and potentially even a second land in hand. That's a tough one.
So there's a bauble.
Yep.
We're going to have a look at the top card, see what's going on there before we make any decisions. And then Scott's going to have a little think. It's passing and
it's passing.
Remember in the normal trigger. Well done, Scott. Easy one to forget that.
Okay.
So that is that's a dispatch. Yeah, so, fantastic card here.
Exiles it as well.
Yeah. Metalcraft. If you have Metalcraft, it is just path to exile with no downside.
Oh, there's
another Carvu.
If you're going to have an answer, just have the same thing, right? So,
but this is still a fantastic position for Scott. He is... Shadowsphere. And we're suiting up the Haywire Might. Not something that we see very often, but is a legal player in the game of Magic the Gathering.
Interestingly, with Josh's situation here now, though, is that you'll attack with a 4/4, but you'll have a response. Again, the portable hold back out of the Carvu back out of jail from the Leyline Binding.
Yeah, that is always a worry. Leyline Binding, but you've got portable hold to answer their 2 drops. They've got 1 mana flash portable hold when they've got domain, essentially, and follow that up with a Scion. Not as threatening. Still going to give them first strike and trample. But you can, if you're Scott here and you're really worried, you can block one, use the Haywire Might, turn off the Scion, and turn off Trample as well. But Scott's going to take 10 here, I think. And
yeah, I think so.
I think this game is starting to run away from Scott here a little bit. He's empty-handed.
And it just shows how powerful the top decks can be from this Zoo deck, right? That's We were classing Josh as dead in the water, literally.
2 turns ago we were saying this is looking great for Scott, but I think like we said, the problem with this deck is there is a lot of air in Scott's deck. Josh's there isn't. It's all gas, no brakes, for the most part, and that's another dispatch. I maybe wouldn't have chosen the Scion here, just because I know I can kill that with my Haywire. Oh no, it's non-creature, isn't it, with Haywire, right? Sorry, excuse me. Yep, no.
There's the Haywire, am I going to block, blow up the Binding?
Well, it has to block here, otherwise he's looking for removal, so he's going to block, getting 4 life total, I believe. 2 from the life link and then 2 from Haywire Might.
Yeah.
So that effectively almost blocks the second one, so to speak.
Actually, no, we have no black, right? So, we do now. We got Anders Lounge.
Yeah. So he's just going to bolt him and finish off with Flage.
Wow.
Yep, and that's Zoo. You can never count Zoo out of a game.
And that's Zoo quite comprehensively taking it 2-0 there. Scott obviously won in round 1, so that puts Josh 2-0.
Yeah.
3-0 will get you a draw by, a draw by. So only one more game to go for Josh.
Yeah.
Zoo doing Zoo things. Drawing out just the biggest threats possible.
Thanks for watching the video. This is some action from the Severn River Series. This was event 3 and we have a total of 11 happening in the southwest of England and Wales. Come join us on the 24th and 25th of May where we continue the series in Bath and Gloucester. For now, look out on the channel for more matches from this series, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more content.